What is going on, guys? Your boy Joey Shakes coming to you guys with a video right now. So Brandon Brooks coming back to OTAs. Love it. This is a great thing. Obviously, we want these guys to stay healthy. Brandon Brooks has faced adversity so many times for this team, and with his own health problems and everything like that. Obviously, when we signed him as a free agent in 2016, we didn't know what was going to happen at the time. He was a guard that wasn't, developed properly through his rookie contract. And, finally the Eagles, they picked him up and turned to a Pro Bowler. And if 100% healthy, he is the best right guard in football, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but I think he's literally that good. I mean, the guy's had a pectoral injury. The guy has had 2 Achilles tears. And even after his first Achilles tear, and it was a late one, he came back first week of the season. You know what I mean? He came back in 2020, and we were kind of surprised at the time that he actually would come back. I know earlier in his younger years with us, he obviously depression, he was going through some stuff. He didn't go to a couple games because of his head wasn't right at the time, and he was going through some personal stuff, which, I had nothing against that. That happens in people's lives. So, whether you're a player or you're, just a person in life, it just happens. But 2 Achilles tears, I think, a pectoral, something like that. Even those 2 Achilles tears were very crazy. And it's really hard for players to come back from that. But I'm going to have to tell you, Brandon Brooks coming back from those 2 injuries have been more than phenomenal. I think he has so much left in the tank to give this team. I mean, even if you wanted to move him, guys, his contract is so crazy right now. I mean, I looked at some of the numbers. He's like he's a 22 to 23, probably a little bit higher of a dead cap hit for this year, next year. He's... obviously they did restructure him at one point to save like $3-4 million, but it's going to be really tough to, if you want to, you're going to have some big contracts next year, with the Philadelphia Eagles, if they want to shed some of that cap and create more cap space. But this is a contract that's going to be really hard to get rid of. And obviously, I know Brandon Brooks could play, but coming back from 2 Achilles tears is kind of amazing. He doesn't even look like a guard anymore. I mean, he got so shredded at one point, he looked like a linebacker. That's how crazy it was. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he plays that right side of the line is very strong with next to him with Lane Johnson. I love it. I've had no problem with it. It's all about really staying healthy. I mean, I think Brandon Brooks can play for the next 4 years for us. That's how productive he is, and that's how much of a big fight back that he has. I mean, those injuries that he had, it never put him down. It never, made him quit or nothing. He's worked harder and harder every time coming back, and I always root for this guy. I've had no problem with him since we signed him as a free agent in 2016, and I think good things are to come. I think this is a guy that you definitely keep on your roster until he retires, because I think even at, some offensive linemen, as they age past their 30s, 33, 34, 35, when they get up there as an offensive lineman, sometimes they lose a step, and it just seems like Brandon Brooks doesn't lose a step. It just seems like the injuries, I think, motivate him more. But obviously, when you get hit with an injury, it's a down year for your career, and it's not good. You know what I mean? So I have full confidence in Brandon Brooks this year. Obviously, if he stays healthy, I'm telling you, that right side of the line with Lane Johnson on that side is going to be fantastic. This run game is going to be fantastic with 8 running backs competing for a starting job, obviously for a 1-2-3 punch. If they keep 3 or 4 running backs, whatever they do, but especially with Jalen Hurts protection this year, Brandon Brooks is a huge part of that. And what I do like is that, these, veterans could teach the young guys a lot of things. I love our depth at offensive line. You get Clark at tackle. You got to swing tackle Clark. You still got Andre Dillard on the roster, and whatever you're going to do with him. Nate Herbig, undrafted, another guy that can play both guard spots. He did really well against Aaron Donald week 2. I mean, just one-on-one him and played fantastic and filled in left and right guard for weeks when we had 14 changes to the offensive line. Jack Driscoll, you know, I think is already ahead of Matt Pryor, and I think is a lot better than we all should give him credit for. I think he's going to be a very good a future right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles, so you really never know at this point. So when it comes down to the health of this offensive line, you know, it's very easy to get injuries in the offensive line. You get stepped on, you know, it doesn't, anything could happen. Someone can roll up on your leg. You know, this just happens. It's very easy to get hurt at this position when you're on the line. So, you know, I'm very happy for him to come back, and you know, obviously he just brings, you know, he's not, you know, he doesn't really talk too much, but he's quiet, and he leads by example, and that's what he does. So with Brandon Brooks, you know, I think he could play for a good amount of years here. I think he's got a lot in the tank left, guys. I like, you could tell when you look at a player and you see that, and he's dipping in his, you know, he's dipping in production, you know, and obviously I'm not saying the injuries aren't a big deal, because they are. These aren't ACLs. I'd rather have an ACL injury multiple years than have Achilles injuries. Achilles injuries change players, especially at any position. It affects you, and your rehab is a lot much harder and to get back from, and to get 100% back from. So it's nice to see Jeff Stoughton here, you know, offensive line coach with the Eagles, and you know, he's back this year to be with these guys and, you know, make something work with this offensive line. You could have a fantastic run game, a great screen game, and obviously great protection for Jalen Hurts to extend plays if he has to, and really get the ball to his target. And so it should be a lot of fun. Brandon Brooks has always been a high caliber guy in Philadelphia. Never had a problem with him, but obviously it is the injuries. 2 Achilles tears is no joke. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about Brandon Brooks coming back this year. What do you think the future of Brandon Brooks is with the Philadelphia Eagles? And just want to know what you guys think about it. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Chicks go out, Flawless 5. Peace out, guys. Peace.